Okay, this meeting is being held in accordance with the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act. Annual notice this meeting was published in the Union County Local Source and the New York Star Ledger. Said notice was posted in the municipal building and a copy is on file with the Office of the Borough Clerk. Fire exits are located in the directions I'm indicating. If you are alerted for fire, please move in a calm, orderly manner to the nearest smoke-free exit. Proper notice having been given, the Borough Clerk is directed to include this statement in the minutes of the meeting. Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Here.
Councilman Johnson.
Here.
Councilman Signorello.
Here.
Councilman Ravina.
Here.
Councilwoman Lyons is absent. Councilman Patel.
Here.
Mayor Signorello.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mayor.
Okay, please lead us in the opening prayer followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Eternal God, grant us thy help in all our duties and perplexities. We ask for thy guidance. Give us thy protection in our dangers and sorrows. Grant us thy peace. Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, there are no communications for review this evening. There are no proclamations or presentations for this evening. May I have a motion to approve meeting minutes pending any corrections?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion that bills and payrolls be not read and passed for payment?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to open the public portion on agenda items only?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, if you'd like to come up speak on agenda items only, you may do so now. And just for FYI, for anybody who also wants to talk to an ordinance, you can do 5 minutes now, and then if you want to talk for that ordinance, you're allowed to come back.
Okay. Hi.
Name and address.
My name is Anthony Peters, 70 Colfax Manor. I'm here representing a few unit owners and residents from Colfax Manor. And the reason why I'm here is because of the handicap parking space that was erected at Colfax Manor on the public street. And the problem is that it's been registered to a specific unit owner who has yet to really use it. We're limited on parking. Parking's a nightmare. As a matter of fact, today there's an event going on at school, and there's no parking except for that parking space, which is always open, and it's not being used. I've gotten a lot of complaints from the unit owners. I'm a board member. I'm vice president of the board at Colfax Manor, and we're here as a group to try to see if not to remove the handicap parking space, but to get it undesignated. There was an incident last week where one of our unit owners didn't see the sign on the handicap parking, and she parked there, and she has a handicap space. Mm-hmm. She's 20 feet from that parking space. Mm-hmm. Somebody called, complained, knocked on her door to move her car, and I don't think that's fair. The reason why this parking space was erected, from what I gathered from the group, is because we were preventing a unit owner from using our private handicap parking space. That is a lie. We never stopped him from using that handicap parking space, ever. Even though his private parking was removed for personal reasons, but they were removed. So here we are a couple of months later. I know a couple of you have several pictures throughout the days, throughout the months, of him parking in our private handicap parking space, not utilizing that new parking space that is designated for him alone. Mm-hmm. So we ask at Colfax Manor that you guys would consider rescinding that and just leaving it a public handicap parking space. So.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, you can come up if you like.
Hi, my name's Edward Seleckia, and I am the unit owner that has the handicap parking spot.
Just an address for the record, please.
Sorry?
Address for the record.
26C Colfax Manor.
Yep.
Okay. The spot was reserved for me because, for reasons, I lost my 2 parking spots. When I applied for it, my wife is handicapped in a wheelchair. Okay? I applied for it the legal way and went through your town, which Colfax Manor has no business talking about what goes on in the street because they don't own the street, okay? I got a doctor's note and everything. The reserved parking, the handicap parking spot in the back is not reserved. Anybody could park there. So that's a lie. You can't even read the sign. I have pictures of all other unit owners that live in the Colfax that park in the street, but they're more concerned about getting revenge on me because we have a disagreement. And all these people that live there, you go take pictures, I took pictures, I got them, of all unit owners that park in the street that have two reserved parking spots in the back. Okay? The spot was reserved for me because of my wife. Okay, I parked there yesterday, the day before. My wife has a lot of doctor's appointments. It's tough to get a handicapped person over the ramp. I had a heart attack in June, so it's tough for me to wheel her over the ramp. So therefore, I park in the back. Nobody else complains about parking in the back. I park in the street sometimes. I park in the back. It's a lie that I don't park there. I just parked there last night and the night before. But what I'm saying is it's more of a revenge factor, okay, from the board who I'm in a disagreement with and everything. But like I said, I have a reserved parking spot on the street that was given to me that is not owned by Colfax Manor. If they want to do something, go after the unit owners that park in the street. Some people have two cars and two parking spots, and they park both cars on the street. I have pictures of it. I could prove it. And all they want to do is get revenge on me because some people don't like me. They shut me out of Zoom meetings, okay, because I speak my mind. Everybody else is afraid to speak their mind in front of them. So I feel like I'm being persecuted by a board that has something against me, not just for that reason. They took two of my parking spots away in the back. Part of your law was I can't have a parking spot reserved or a garage, which I didn't have. I got my notes from the doctor, all done legally. Got the handicap parking spot, and just because they want to get revenge on me, they want to take my parking spot on the street away. If they want me to continuously park on the street, that's my business and your business, not their business. If I want to park in the back, first of all, I've never heard of a private handicap parking spot in the back that is owned by Colfax Manor. Handicap means anybody can park there. You don't have to be a unit owner or anybody. So what I'm saying is that I totally disagree with it and that I should keep that parking spot. And somebody who went and cut down the placards before this meeting, which is illegal, and I know somebody that's seen the person that do it, but I'm not going to mention no names, okay? But it's totally illegal. They were walking down the street with them in their hand because another person told them they could do it. That's why I came here a couple weeks ago to argue it out. Now, that is my parking spot. It is a handicap parking spot. If you guys want me to park there all the time, I got no problem, okay? But when I come home at night or something and my wife's with me, I got to take her out of the car, wheel her all the way down to the driveway, okay? And I can't park in the other handicap lot because there's no handicap access. There's steps, 2 steps, 2 steps, 3 steps, and if you have handicap parking, you should have a handicap access for people to get up there, okay? So what I'm saying is that I think I should keep the spot, and it's just a revenge tactic against them because they have nothing to do with street. It's not their jurisdiction, and it's not for them to say who could park on the street and who can't. If they're so concerned about parking, go after the people that park on the street that have reserved parking spots that don't park there. They don't care about that. They just care about going after me. And as you can see, they're all here just to go up against me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
If anybody else would like to come speak on agenda items only, may do so now. Yeah, so you can do it right now if you want, or you can come during the ordinance, the ones that are second reading. Okay, yeah, right, is the noise one you want to talk about? Okay, that he can speak during that, okay, yeah, you can come then. Okay, anybody else? Okay, I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public portion?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, reports. We're a little light on reports tonight. Rich, you want to start us off? It's freezing in here.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Okay, so the construction code report is for, it's actually for October 1st, but it's through the end of September. So things are moving along quite nicely. If you drive up and down Westfield Avenue, you can see we're very busy. So the total number of permits that were issued for the month of September was 228. Total revenue through the end of September is $636,268. Sewer connection fees collected year-to-date is $510,749. COA development fees are $2,760. Off-site improvement fees that we've collected is $50,000. That's the Fernmore project. It's part of the redevelopment agreement. Total number of uniform construction code violations is 9. I'm very happy about that because they're ticking down again, which is good. On the property maintenance side, we had 13 court dispositions. Total fines year-to-date, $19,681. We did have 14 violations for September, but that is lighter than the average that we usually have. And 16 court summonses were issued. So as we move along with the projects, Building A over at 10 West Westfield, that is the east building, closer to the municipal building, I issued a temporary certificate of occupancy for all the residential units in Building A on October 1st.
They have the parking to support that now?
Yes, they do, because I also issued a TCO
For the parking from
only
Building B?
For Building B.
How many units, do you know how many units they have rented out thus far?
I'm not sure how many they have rented out. The total number of units on the building is 167.
Okay, got it.
In turn, we also have the TCO for building 450 West Westfield. I believe that's Building 1 or Studio 1.
Mhm.
So a full TCO has been issued for that building as well.
Okay.
So they're ready to go. That was, and it was issued on October 1st also.
We're really getting these guys in by the skin of our teeth this year.
Yeah, so
But that's
that
good, the
one-
pilot money kicks in then after, once the TCO, or once occupancy? Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, so they're moving along quite nicely. The Fernmore project at 404 is also moving along quite nicely.
Yep.
They changed up some of their contractors, so it's moving along quite well. The Hunter project,
Did you guys land on a final design for the center piece?
I'm still waiting on that.
Okay.
And
Feels like it's like getting close to the hour where they need to
I-
present something, right?
And it might be beneficial if you make a phone call.
I can make
Mr. Mayor.
I can make a phone call.
I've been on them about that, and I basically heard dead silence and promises that I was going to get a design to forward to you, and I haven't gotten any.
Yeah, I mean, look, the land use board approved a design, right? So if they're gonna give us an alternate, they need to present that or, or just make what they said they were gonna make.
Yeah, my understanding, it was going to be amended, but it was going to be basically the same concept.
Okay.
With a tree in the middle, a tree
I'll
as a
chase.
focal point.
Yeah, I'll chase.
Okay.
Yep.
So the Hunter project at 140 West Webster is moving along, but there is a redesign that's occurring now because the elevation of the first floor is actually anywhere from 5 inches to 10 inches above what was originally designed. So they have a few things to do internally, including barrier-free ramps that need to be put in and redesigned as opposed to exterior ramps. I had an extensive meeting with their design professionals and the developer on that a couple of weeks ago, so I'm just waiting on some design amendments. Otherwise, that's pretty much it.
Cool. Any questions for Rich?
Yeah, any updates on the plaque, the Marconi plaque for Fernmore?
Yes. If I remember correctly, Mr. Administrator, you did receive an email on that recently, correct?
Yes, and we provided approval of the design.
We have
So
a
it's
date?
being,
Is
it's
it being
gone to the
fabricated
forge.
now, or-
Yes.
Nice. Do we have a date when it's going to be?
I do not have a date yet, but I know it went to the forge after it was designed, so that was last week or the week before, so I'll follow up with them.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Yeah, they are, the new project, the newly hired project manager wants to get it off his to-do list
I'm
as
sure he
well.
does.
So,
Any further questions for Rich? Thank you, sir. Okay, Rupen, you wanna come up? I'm just going by the order of this.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening.
Good evening.
Our community food pantry will continue providing food to qualified Roselle Park residents during the year 2024-2025 school year. Thanks to Roselle Park School District for helping reaching out to those most vulnerable students and their families through the lunch program. And also thanks to Community United Methodist Church and residents for their generous donations to help maintain our food pantry. Food pantry is open every Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. For Roselle Park residents only. Please visit the center if you or someone you know needs assistance or require more information. On September 17 and 24, 15 seniors enjoyed an afternoon of rock and roll and R&B music and the music of ABBA, arrival from Sweden at PNC Art Center.
It sounds really cool when you say it like that, rock and roll.
On September 23rd, the MBC mobile unit assisted more than 60 residents with their registration, Real ID, and more. The next visit is on November 18 and 19 from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Registrations for these visits will open on November 10 on njmbc.gov. On September 23rd, 9 seniors visited the new Jersey State House. Thank you to the Office of Assemblywoman Linda Carter for arranging the trip and for a warm welcome. On October 15th, the County Office of Health Management will be giving a presentation on breast cancer awareness at 12 p.m. at Casano Center. The events on Friday, September 9, over 300 residents joined the annual Fiesta Hispana y Latina. Huge thank you to Mayor Signorello, Councilman at Large Joe Signorello, Councilman Joe Petrosky, Councilman Jerry Ropina, Councilman Roselle Lyons, Commissioner Vice Chair Leon, and Commissioners Granados for being part of this vibrant event. And thank you to everyone who came out and made this celebration a success. On September 11, Borough came together to honor the lives lost and the heroes who emerged on September 11, 2001. Thank you, Mayor, and the members of the Borough Council, Fire Department, Police Department, High School Marching Band, Church of the Assumption, Community United Methodist Church, Tiffany Narvaez, and all residents who attended. On Saturday, September 28, despite the rain, the 10th Annual Arts Festival was a great success. Thank you to the sponsors, Breakwater Treatment and Wellness, Heart Grant of Union County, Meridia Dowlings, Thrive Physical Therapy, and Innovation Optics. Special shout out to RP Loves Art volunteers, especially Christy, Teresa, Al, Ryan, and Tara. They really made it happen. Thank you, Youth Center, Board of Education, DPW, PD, and RP Diversity Committee for the support. Sorry, Mayor. May I continue? Please. Thank you. Thank you again, Mayor, Councilman Joe Petrosky, and Councilwoman Roselle Lyons for being part of the event. This Saturday, the borough will be celebrating the 9th Annual Festival of India at Roselle Park High School. The event includes refreshments, music, and dance. The festival begins at 5 p.m. with light refreshments served from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. while supplies last, followed by Garba and Ras dances at 7 p.m. Attendees are encouraged to bring their Danya sticks. The event is free and open to all. On October 19th, the borough will be hosting its first Italian Heritage Festival at Michael Murray Park. This also includes, the event includes live band, wine garden, activities, and of course, cannoli eating contest.
You guys, Chief, you gonna join me? I'm doing the cannoli eating contest. So showing that heritage pride, yeah, doing it right.
The event starts at 5 o'clock and ends at 9 p.m. The borough will be also hosting the 3rd Annual Mischief Night concert and program on Wednesday, October 30th. The concert is free to attend and will take place at Michael Murray Park from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. Program will feature a Tesla light show, trunk or treat, and special dance performance by Maid Stars Dance Studio at 8 p.m. Registration is now open on our social media page for those interested in participating in the Tesla light show or also trunk or treat. And that concludes my report, Mayor.
Cool. Any questions for Ruben? Keep up the good work.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Chief Reno?
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
So I previously submitted my report. Hopefully, everybody received a copy. I just want to highlight a couple of items inside that report. On September 12th, Captain Wintermute, Lieutenant Harms, and I conducted interviews for the position of Parking Enforcement Officer. Six applications were submitted for the position. After careful review of each application, 4 applicants were called in for an interview. A background investigation was then conducted on the top candidate. Candidate I am submitting this evening for consideration for hire for the position of Parking Enforcement Officer is Michael Foreman. Foreman is a 2017 retired police lieutenant from the Roselle Police Department who retired in good standing. I believe this candidate will do an excellent job in this position if hired. On September 13th, I attended and participated in the Union County Prosecutor's Office gun surrender meeting. In conjunction with Union County Prosecutor's Office, in collective effort to reduce gun violence and enhance community safety, all law enforcement agencies in Union County will be hosting a gun surrender event on October 5th, 2024. This event will provide a safe and anonymous opportunity for individuals to dispose of unwanted firearms with no questions asked. The gun surrender will take place at various locations within Union County from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The Roselle Park location will be at 345 West Westfield Avenue, the Church of the Assumption Hall. Please be sure to bring your firearm to the event unloaded in a bag or box. All firearms will be destroyed at a later date. We are also accepting unwanted ammunition and prescription drugs that day. For additional locations, feel free to visit the Roselle Park Police Department Facebook page for details. If any resident needs to reach me, you can contact me at 908-245-2311 or email me at dfreno@roselleparkpd.org.
Cool.
Mayor, that's my report.
Thank you. Any questions for the chief?
I do. Dominic, I want to thank you for putting in radar detectors on Galpin Hill Road in East Roselle. I appreciate it.
No worries, sir.
Thank you.
Cool. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Coach Rainier?
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank Mayor Signorella and Town Council for giving me the opportunity to provide a brief update. The goal of the Roselle Park Recreation Department is to meet the recreational needs of our community. As part of our department's effort to meet these needs and expand community services, our department provides a wide range of programs. Membership and recreation. We currently have over 300 recreational members. The Recreation Department has 23 programs, 25 employees, utilizing 11 locations and growing. Homework and aftercare, we currently have 111 members. We are transporting and chaperoning over 88 students daily. After school care has 13 programs, 20 employees, and growing. Recreational sports and activities happening now. Middle school, high school, adult fitness, elementary and middle school volleyball, flag football, cheerleading, off-season basketball, and off-season wrestling. We're pleased to report that our department has made the following changes to the recreational program. We've created a borough aftercare and homework club schedule independent of the Roselle Park School District's full-day calendar. We have half-day programming for back-to-school nights and teacher conferences. We have back-to-school night events for members and parents' night out. We remain committed to provide the best possible care and programming. In addition, we believe these changes has afforded our community members the requested ASYC programming. The ASYC has recently hosted or planning to host the following: Girl Scout meetings, Cub Boy Scout meetings, back-to-school night drop and goes, recreation committee meetings, and the Halloween costume party, which is Sunday, October 20th at 12 o'clock in the ASYC gym. Diversity and inclusion meetings, public affair and community event meetings, CPEG meetings and Halloween event, PTA meetings, 5th grade parent meetings, DMV events, recreational sports meeting, CPR and AED certification, Festival of the Arts, and the Mischief Night event, to name a few. As always, you can contact the Recreation Department at recreation@rosellepark.net with any questions or concerns. That completes our October Recreation Department update. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Cool. Thank you, sir.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
Andrew, you got anything?
Yeah, just a couple things, Mayor. A couple things on the agenda and then one public service announcement. I do want to note Resolution 23824 Bulletproof Vest Partnership Grant. We have been lucky to receive that grant in past years. This is a little bit of a higher award than last year. It's a matching grant program. It provides pretty much what it says, bulletproof vests to our officers, or helps provide vests to our officers. Hopefully they'll never need them, but God forbid. they will have them. Resolution 239 is the retirement of Rose Cooper. Ms. Cooper is a longtime Deputy Court Administrator of our municipal court. I just want to take an opportunity to wish her a long and happy retirement. She'll be retiring effective January 1st, 2025. And one other, a little bit of an oddity, 24224. It's rock salt, which is really nothing noteworthy. However, this amount is a reversion to a previous vendor that we use, Morton Salt. They're pretty big in the industry, as you can imagine by the name. The current tonnage the tonnage price that we were paying was $78 a ton. So this is one of the rare opportunities we have to reduce our cost by about $4.50, $4.47 a ton. We typically authorize the purchase of up to 900 tons of salt a year. So that translates to a potential savings of over $4,000, which is a good thing. The only other thing I wanted to add is that obviously this is a presidential election year. Everybody who would be engaged is very engaged in the democratic process this year, and I as a municipal clerk and in charge of the elections locally here, I'm very happy about it, very excited. The voter registration deadline to be eligible to vote in the general election is coming up on October 15th. I want the public to understand that my office doesn't care how you vote. We care that you can vote, and we care if you do vote. It does not matter if you vote Democrat, Republican, otherwise, for the people up here or the people in the audience, does not matter to me, does not matter to my office. So if you need help voting, if you need help registering to vote, my office will be open until 7 p.m. on October 15th. We are open every day, 8:30 to 4:30. You can register to vote online, and if you need immediate assistance, I ask you to call my office, 908-245-6222, extension 78, and we'll be happy to facilitate the process for you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Ken, I'm going to talk about the sewer piece, so you don't have to, but if there's anything you want to add, go for it. So I'm going to have Ken, the CFO, do his update, but I want to get this out of the way first, and happy to take discussions later or questions later when the public portion comes up. So as everybody know, most folks know, you got a letter. City of Elizabeth sued us. We settled with them. We've hashed out that discussion several times. If anybody wants to talk about it later, we definitely can. We were lucky in securing in the budget, the state budget this year, $3 million in aid to help offset that. We have frozen or asked people not to pay their second sewer payment in the hopes that we would get those funds before the payment. This way we'd be liquid, be able to pay everything off. Unfortunately, we're very frustrated with the state. It moves slow. They're doing this as part of a grant process, which is incredibly frustrating. They're also on a different fiscal year cycle. So their fiscal year can end in Q1 next year.
It's June 30th.
June 30th. Okay, so they could give us the money in June, right, before their fiscal year ends. Our fiscal year ends December 31st. Is that correct? So we need it before December 31st. When I say that Andrew and I have been almost every day on the call with the state, on the call with the Senate President's office, Assembly office to try and get this through on time, I would say probably 4 days a week we've been on a call with it. The most assurance we could get is it will probably get here by December, right? Unfortunately, from an accounting perspective, we can't go on probably. We need to make sure that we have enough to pay our bills. So unfortunately, we are going to extend the payment for that second payment. That second payment is going to have to happen this year, which stinks, right? It's terrible. It is not what I wanted out of the outcome. I'm incredibly frustrated and embarrassed. And candidly, I think it's a little sickening that the state can't get its stuff together so we can have that operating aid when it's intended for this year. And trust me, I've voiced my frustration several times on that. But going back to it, I do think the positive result is, right, so already next year we were going to look at a very significantly lower bill. This will go to paying off entirely what we owe from Elizabeth. So we will be basically scot-free from our payments theoretically next year. So when we were going to see a little bit of a dip next year, we're going to see a huge dip next year. And a lot of people ask me, look, this stinks, but I'm hoping this is a one-time off, right? This will be a one-off. We'll have a crappy year this year, and then we will normalize the payments next year and hopefully bring it down. Definitely bring it down, but bring it down as much as we can. So, again, public portion afterwards. You want to come yell at me, throw rocks at me after that? Sure. I just figured I'd front run it. Ken, is there anything you'd like to add?
No, the only thing with payments next year is we will still have the current payments until we do the new source system.
Yeah.
But the 4 million should be gone after next year's payment.
Yeah, but it'll be reflected in our budget next year.
Correct.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Okay. May I have a motion to accept the reports of departments as submitted?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. May I have a motion to read ordinance number 2789 by title?
So move.
Second.
Whoa, I just need to read it.
Oh.
You don't need to, I mean, you can tell me to read it, but I got it. Ordinance 2789 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing. An ordinance amending Chapter 7, Section 39, subsection 2 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Handicap Parking on Streets for Private Residences.
Okay. May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2789?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If anybody would like to come speak again on this, you may do so now. You have the right to. If not, you. When is that second payment due? The end of this month? Oh, that's not relevant to this question. I can answer that afterwards. No big deal. Yep. But Ken, I don't know if in the meantime you want to. Yeah. Anybody want to come up on this ordinance specifically? This is the handicap ordinance. So if you want to come speak again on it, you may do so now.
Okay.
Go ahead. Say your name and address.
Edward Seleckia, 26C, Colfax Manor, Roselle Park. Okay, again about this, like I said, there is handicap parking, and some people that have handicap parking, okay, have reserved parking spots, and they still park in front of their home on the street. Now, as far as people that say, oh, I could use a handicap parking spot, well, go through the system, go to the court, go to the town and apply for it. Don't come and cry because you're parked in somebody's spot and say, I want a handicap park, why can't I park there? You have a reserved parking spot, therefore you cannot have another reserved handicap parking spot. And what I'm saying is that, like I said, I think it's totally going up against me. If it was anybody else, nobody would complain. But like I've had a lot of problems and a lot of issues with the board, and I just don't think it's fair. Now, as far as like you said, somebody said I had a reserved handicap parking spot in the back. There's no such thing as a reserved handicap parking spot in the back, and that's what you were told. But I don't have a reserved. There's no reserved handicap parking spots. It's first come, first served. If nobody parks there, anybody could park there. Like I said, if I come in with my wife from a doctor and I have to park somewhere, let's say permit parking, where you can't park out and down the block, even though the people have two cars, they park in their driveways and the streets are empty, it's almost like the same thing, you know? And like I said, the people that have, and I have pictures if you want to see them, of all the cars that park on the street that have reserved parking spots, but they don't want to enforce that because they just want to come after me. That's the only reason why. It's more of revenge than anything else. And like I said, after this, if you want to see the pictures, I do have all the cars that park on the street that have two parking spots, and they never park in their parking spots. So why don't they go after them if they say parking's tough? Because they don't want to go after them, because they don't have no conflict with them.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else like to speak on this ordinance? Okay.
Anybody else want to come up, speak?
Oh, come on, that's why I held it as it.
Hello, Mayor and Council.
Hello.
My name is Phil Lepore. I'm Unit 46C at Colfax. As far as this handicap spot goes, so much time has been wasted on it. It's getting ridiculous at this point. The only thing I could tell you is the person that it was assigned to does not use it. It could be used for a regular parking spot or keep it as a handicap spot that's not designated for an individual. We have a lot of senior citizens, a lot of handicapped people at Colfax Manor that could use that spot. So that's all I got to say on the matter, but as far as designating it for an individual, I don't think it's the right thing to do.
Understood. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? I am seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2789?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So I just want to pause here, and then if I need to take a roll call for this, Andrew or Joe, let me know. I think we have a closed session item pertinent to this, right? So the proposal would be, let's have the closed session and speak to the lawyers before we actually vote on this. Just for everybody, we'll do a little private huddle on this about some of the impact and then vote on it afterwards. So can we move up to closed session?
I
or
would like
just wait?
discussion, personally.
Sorry?
I would like discussion.
We will entertain discussion, but I figured the closed session would be,
Well, I was the one that requested a closed session, and no one got back to me that we were having a closed session.
okay. I mean, it's on the agenda, I think, right?
Oh, it is?
Oh, no.
Is it on there?
Maybe it's a typo. There are no items for closed session.
Yeah.
If-
If you want to do the closed session first, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Rather than hitting it twice or three times.
Yeah, that's what I figured. We'll get the closed session out of the way, then if there's still public discussion you want to have, we can do that. Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Let's do it now so you guys aren't here all night. I'll ask you all to leave, right? We'll do our closed session, then if we'll have a public session, and then we'll vote on it. Is that all right? Okay. May I have a motion?
I'll read
Okay,
it.
yeah.
Whereas the mayor and council of the Borough of Roselle Park wish to discuss matters which are described in the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12, and whereas the general nature of the subjects to be discussed in closed session are a matter of attorney-client privilege involving ordinance number 2789, and whereas the time when and the circumstances under which the item discussed in closed session will be disclosed to the public at a future time, now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the Borough of Roselle Park, County of Union, State of New Jersey, that they do now adjourn the open portion of the meeting and open a closed portion of the meeting to discuss the aforementioned item.
So we'll talk in here once we're done. Shouldn't take that long. We'll knock the door and you guys can come back in if that's all right.
Need a-
Sorry for the inconvenience.
Motion to adopt the
May I have a motion
closed session
to
resolution.
adopt the closed session resolution?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Now you can turn it on.
We need a mic.
Yes. Oh, there's a second public portion at the end on any subject matter.
Whenever you're ready.
May I have a motion to,
Reconvene.
reconvene?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Mayor, the subject matter discussed in closed session was a matter of attorney-client privilege involving ordinance number 2789. I do believe the governing body is looking to take some form of action on this ordinance.
Yep. May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2789?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mayor. Can I table 2789 until we can get additional information?
Motion to table. Do I have a second?
Second.
Andrew, please call the roll.
On a motion to table ordinance 2789, Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorella?
Yes.
Councilman Robina?
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons is not here, sorry. Councilman Patel?
Yes.
5 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is tabled.
Okay, please read ordinance number 2790 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2790 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing, an ordinance fixing the salaries of Police Patrolmen's Benevolent Association employees of the Borough of Roselle Park in the County of Union, State of New Jersey for the years 2025, 26, 27, 28, and 29.
Hey, just before we continue, I want to explain what a tabling is, right? So there's a motion to send it to the next meeting, the next scheduled meeting. We have some more analysis that we want to do as council, right? Specifically when it comes to legal ramifications. So I think there's bits that need to be sorted out before we'll feel comfortable voting on it, just for everybody's edification. Yep. Okay. May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2790?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Would anybody like to come up and speak on ordinance 2790? Okay, I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2790?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2790?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Okay, Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorello?
Yes.
Councilman Robina?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
Yes.
5 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is adopted.
Okay, please read ordinance number 2791 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2791 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing, an ordinance amending Chapter 3, Section 9 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Peace and Good Order.
May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2791?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
John, I guess you're coming up. Yeah.
How you doing? Good. 731 Woodland.
John, just make sure the mic is on. If there's a red light's on, it means it's on.
There we go.
Yep.
Okay.
There you go.
Sorry about that. John Poulos, 731 Woodland. Okay. I'm, again, concerned about this ordinance, this introduction, because it clearly guts one of the best ordinances Roselle Park has. One that makes people able to live in peace and harmony and enjoy their property and these ridiculous taxes we have to pay. Okay? Now, this takes it away. You're coming up with some electronic devices, which is going to cost the town how much money? It was discussed last time, $10, $20, $30, $40,000, whatever that is, for each unit, because you got to have a couple units, you got to train the people, that costs money, and it's going to simply, again, as it's even put in there, throws in there the discretion. And discretion means if I don't want to do my job, I don't have to. Okay, that's what it means. Instead of simply, you're the boss of the chief, instead of telling him simply, enact a policy, one call, they get a warning, second call, they get a citation. No ifs, ands, or buts. They can come to court. If the judge throws it out, they're free. If not, they pay, what is it, $100, $125, something like that. It's not a big fee. And people who are going to want to have a wedding in their backyard, that extra $100 isn't going to be a big deal when they buy food and DJ and whatever. It's just it's like a parking ticket. Sometimes you just say, hey, what the heck, I got to park here. You say, I'll take the ticket and pay it. You know, and it's still means something will get done. So at least when somebody calls, officer writes a ticket, that's all they can do. I don't expect them to arrest the person or get out of hand, because it's not, doesn't, you know, unless they get violent or something. But if it's just a matter of noise, they should be cited. You know, the same as all these parking ordinances they want to change with the permit parking. You park in the wrong spot, you get a ticket. It's not a big deal. You know, you make too much noise, you get a ticket. I don't see the big deal. And clearly, the old ordinance says that shall annoy any person. So that means if you call, you're annoyed. It meets the standard.
I think, and that's where, I like Greg talk, because I know he's got strong opinions on this, but this is where I would push back, right? So I think what this is trying to do, and what I think does right, is take the subjectivity out of it, right? Because annoyance is subjective, right? Like, I could be singing opera here, and Greg could say, like, that's cool, I think it's lovely, and Kanjan could say that's annoying as hell, right? Having an actual decibel reading, I think, takes that subjectivity of it.
Also, Mayor, annoyance could be, I don't like my neighbor and I just want to screw them.
Right, yeah.
So that's not, and my definition of discretion is a little bit different than yours. To me, discretion is every situation has its own slight nuance. No two situations are the same. We don't know if someone had a death in the family. We don't know if someone had this, that. I'm not going to just make a whole bunch of excuses, but what I'm trying to say is you have to allow police to do their job, to see what is going on, what's the problem, and assess. You know, just because you might feel like it's case closed, book them, Dano, it may not be that. You know, it may not be that. It just may be a simple warning. And what this also does, it gives us a little bit more bite. The police can actually effectually do their job, because now we have the equipment that will say, hey, this is the mark. This is the mark, not you just feel that way or he just feel that way. Oh, I don't like my neighbor, so I just want to screw them. We can't, that's this.
What is the decibel reading that is the standard?
It's cited in here. I would have to.
It's in the New Jersey
I don't have it with me
Noise
now.
Prevention
I
Act.
don't
Yeah,
memorize
because we have a
I don't
problem
memorize
as well.
every-
I mean, thankfully, the one neighbor moved, but every Christmas, they put up these noise-making, bad Chinese Christmas music that would be blasting all night, or the Halloween, you know, decorations that blast.
What's the July? What, are we going to cite the whole town?
Well, the fireworks are illegal in New Jersey.
Got to have discretion.
Well,
So
not,
I guess
not
the
the aerial
chief of police is going to
fireworks.
give the whole town, I guess, tickets. Like, I'm just saying, like, realistically, we can't rule out discretion.
If you are lighting aerial fireworks that are illegal in New Jersey,
I respect your
get
view.
a ticket.
I respect it. I'm just saying our definition
I
is
mean,
a little
it's
bit
simple. I
slightly
mean,
off.
they allow those toy ground ones. I get it. But
Yeah.
if you're doing it,
I think this is solid. I mean, my other colleagues here, they could vote no, and they could go nowhere.
yeah, I feel.
I feel
I brought my
confident.
son here because I
I
have
feel
to teach him
confident
about
that-
democracy
No, it's
and
good that
how
you're-
it works.
No,
I
absolutely.
don't care. Listen, whatever happens, happens.
No,
But
no.
I feel I have to speak.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
think
going to,
actually
because
we're on the
that's
same page. I think some of the concerns that you say, this ordinance actually meets that criteria. It actually gives the police opportunity to do their job without them getting retaliated or people filing the complaints. They could just be like, look, the decimal readings was this. I had to write the ticket. I came here the first time. I gave you a warning. That's the discretion. And now the second time, I'm giving you the ticket because we caught you with the decimal. I think this is, actually, I think this is a real solid piece. And I want to give kudos. I can't take credit to writing all of this. I may have my input ones or twos, but the two gentlemen that did this is stellar. They did a great job.
Okay, well, we can disagree, but, you know, I see it as just totally gutting it. So I might just throw it away. Just like with the permit parking, that you want to let people park wherever they want when they have a permit. What's the point of that? I mean, why let it just be first come, first served then? I mean, that makes, again, that's another issue. But the same thing here. So,
Burgers, John, man, we're good, man.
yeah, so that's what I'm just saying. It's just like, I don't see the point. I say it should just be enforced strictly. There's no reason for somebody to have a band, a loud DJ. We're not talking, let's get real. I mean, at least on my block, people are pretty respectful, so I'm fortunate, a couple blocks over, it's another story. But, somebody might has a little radio playing in their backyard, having a barbecue, nobody's going to care.
Yeah.
But if my house is shaking, I'm trying to watch TV on a Sunday night or Saturday night, watch a movie, and my house is shaking, and it's not from the surround sound, it's from the neighbor, that's a problem. I shouldn't have to call 4 times, 5 times.
But
and
I
other
think-
people shouldn't have to be calling.
I think this minimizes the 4 times. I think it really does. I think what happens is police is going to always probably give that courtesy or discretion. We're in a different world where it's community policing. So I think that it gives police a little bit more protection because, look, I came and gave you a warning, and now I got to come and cite you because you're past the decimal reading.
Yeah.
Also, the police can show them and possibly, look, turn your music up. Yeah, you go past 6, we come out here and we give you a ticket.
It's also for repeat offenders. You
And
can't
repeat offenders.
You can't guarantee that the same cop's going to come.
Absolutely.
Right? And like the discretion varies, right?
Yeah.
But now, if you have Officer A comes and hits the decibel reading, Officer B says, oh, well, hit that again. It's just, whatever.
The discretion is also what if equipment breaks. It's not really just what you're describing it. The discretion is, say that the equipment breaks. The cop has to go back to his own intuition, like, is this wrong, is this right? So you kind of got to leave that there. What if someone called out or that was trained and it's not there?
But
We're
then
not gonna write no ticket.
No, that's going to give them the excuse to not do anything. Because, it's not, I don't think it's 67 decibels or whatever it is. I think, it doesn't sound that loud to me. But you're not in the house dealing with it. That's what I'm saying. It needs to be simple. You make a call, warning. Another call, ticket. That's it.
Will we both agree, like, what is that, xylophone? What is it? What's that communication that is predated? Photograph? We both agree
Photograph
that
is
language got to come out, right?
Well,
The technology don't exist right now.
people still play records. Look at the vinyl. That came back. I was glad when I was glad when they got rid of records and went to CDs. They sound 10,000 times better. Now people are buying records again.
I got you, John. I respect
It doesn't matter whether it's, a CD, whether it's a MP3, whether it's a live band.
I think this makes it fair and prevents discrimination as well. So
Well,
that's
I
just
don't
my
see
view.
discrimination. If you're rude, it's rude. It doesn't matter what
I got you.
group you belong to. If you can't respect your neighbors.
I mean, you say that, but other people are still biased in this community, and outside of this community.
I'm not.
I'm still trying to change the world as we speak.
Listen, I'm not saying
I
it doesn't-
experienced it personally, even here in Roselle Park myself.
Listen, I'm
when I
not saying
first
it
got
doesn't
elected.
exist, but
Yeah.
listen, I look at it like this. I don't care what creed you or
Yeah, you and
group
me.
you belong to. If you're making my life miserable,
I got that.
then I have a problem with it. If you're being respectful, being a good neighbor, we're buddies. I don't care what color you are. It doesn't bother me.
I got you.
But guess what? I can't sleep and I got to get up at 4 o'clock to go to work.
Oh, understandable.
I'm not a happy camper.
Understandable.
So, thank you very much.
Thank you, John. Is there anybody else want to come speak on this ordinance? I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public portion?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number what are we on, 2792?
191.
2791.
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I think we did the discussion, me and John.
Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
5 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is adopted.
Okay, please read ordinance number 2792 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2792 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing, an ordinance amending ordinance number 2781, fixing the salary ranges of non-union employees and officials of the Borough of Roselle Park and the County of Union, State of New Jersey.
May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2792?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would anybody like to come up and speak on this ordinance specifically? I am seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2792?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2792?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
5 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is adopted.
Please read ordinance number 2793 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2793 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 22 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park. I should say entitled Fire Prevention and Protection, establishing Section 3 thereof to be entitled Electric Bike/Scooter Charging.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2793 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as October 17th, 2024?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
5 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Okay, please read ordinance number 2794 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2794 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 7, Section 17 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Residential Permit Parking.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2794 for introduction and fix a date for reading and public hearing as October 17th, 2024?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yeah, can we get a brief synopsis of the changes?
Yeah, I don't know what this is.
So this was a matter, and Councilman Patel, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm missing anything. So this was a matter raised by Councilman Patel with regard to how our residential permitting system works. So the basic framework, other than some of the obvious components, is that each street in the borough that is permit parking, not every street, but ones that are designated by the code, are their own zones. Right? So if you live on a certain street and it's a permit parking street, you can come in free of charge, get a residential parking permit from the borough through the clerk's office, and you are then entitled, that parking permit then entitles you to park on that street. If you're on a corner, you can get a permit for 2 streets because you're a corner property and you have frontage and side yard in a permit parking area. Where I believe, and I'm going to speak for you a little bit, Councilman, so correct me if I'm wrong, where there is some conflict is some of the more congested areas where you have this. So I know particularly along the West Clay Avenue corridor, it's problematic because you have people who live, say, 2 houses into a certain block. They park on the cross street. And if they're at odds with their neighbors, or if police are going and enforcing, particularly during the overnight time, those people are technically, even though they live maybe 100 feet away, they're in violation of the ordinance, and they're not parked in their zone, and they either could get a summons through the enforcement process. So what this ordinance does is it establishes zones that are not street-based. They are 2 zones. One zone which is in the ordinances as Zone 1. Zone 1 is for the area immediately around the train station, which meets the criteria of the initial intent of residential permit parking in Roselle Park, which was to avoid over-congestion in the transit hub by the train station. Zone 2 is everywhere else that has permit parking, right? So the people who live in Zone 1 and get a Zone 1 permit can park in Zone 1. People who live in Zone 2 can get a permit for Zone 2, and they can park in Zone 2. Right? So those people who live, say, on Hawthorne Street off of Clay Avenue could park on both Hawthorne and Clay Avenue, and potentially Columbus Place and a couple of other streets right around there. I'm just using the map to my knowledge. The area that's specific to Zone 1, again, the transit hub, this ordinance defines as the area between, on north and south side, between Colfax Avenue and Clay, and east and west as Locust Street and Chestnut Street. So there's that rectangular area around the transit hub that kind of protects it from being overwhelmed by commuters and other people. And that basically, Councilman Patel, unless I got anything wrong, that's the ordinance.
No, and the other thing it also does is makes their clerk's job a little bit easier, because when the residents do come in, they have to, you got to give them a sticker that wherever they live. So you got to print another sticker and then print that. And also, I assume it makes the cops' job easier because it's by zone. So if you live around that area, you already know Zone 1 is, or Zone 2 could park here. You don't have to look up and run the plates and see if this address lives here and stuff like that.
Cool. Any further discussion? Unfortunately, you can't. You can do it during public portion. Oh. You can't. I can't interact with you right now. Yeah. Okay. Andrew, please call. What's that?
Okay. No,
Is there any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Robina.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
5 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
So there'll be a second public portion. You can come up. Yep. All matters listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda as part of the general orders. Please read all resolutions listed on the consent agenda by title.
Yes, Mayor. Resolution 23824 is approving the insertion of a Bulletproof Vest Partnership Grant as a special item of revenue in the 2024 municipal budget in the amount of $3,962.75. Resolution 23924 is accepting the retirement of Rose Cooper from the position of Deputy Court Administrator. Resolution 24024 is authorizing cancellation of certain grant receivable and reserve balances. Resolution 24124 is appointing Michael T. Foreman to the position of Parking Enforcement Officer. Resolution 24224 is authorizing the open-ended purchase of rock salt from Morton Salt, Inc. pursuant to Union County Cooperative Pricing System Contract Number UCCP-33-2024 at $73.53 per ton. And Resolution 24324 is authorizing authorizing extension of the grace period for the second payment of sewer utility bills for the year 2024 until October 31st, 2024.
Are we pulling anything?
Yes.
Good, Greg.
No, you go first.
39 and 41.
I want to pull 243.
Okay, may I have a motion to adopt Resolution 239-24?
Nope. You can do
Oh,
consent.
sorry. May I have a motion to approve resolutions remaining on the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 239-24? Is
So move.
Second.
there any discussion?
I just like happy retirement and thanks for all her years. She's been a long 30 years I've been coming here, how many years I know she's worked here. Fine job. God bless and enjoy your retirement.
She's one of the longest, right now, I think, one of the longest serving borough employees that we have. Right, Ken? I would say.
Okay, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorello?
Yes.
Councilman Rabina?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
Yes.
5 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The resolution is adopted.
May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 241-24?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
I know Mikey T, long time, and like the chief said, fine, Roselle, retired police department. He'll be an asset. He's just a good guy, smile on his face. I don't know if that guy, everybody likes this guy. He's a good guy, so whatever. So a good hire. Thank you.
Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorello?
Yes.
Councilman Rabina?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
Yes.
6 votes, five votes in the affirmative. The resolution is adopted.
Okay, may I have a motion to adopt 243-24?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, Mayor, I think this is a good resolution. I was just wondering, and I have a question for Andrew or the attorney, I don't know.
Yep.
Can we add, or does it make sense to create a new reso? I also want to suspend interest on the second payments. Say that the residents don't be able to come up with still that second portion. I don't feel like everybody knows the $3 million is coming. Like, why is it still under, those type of ramifications? So I want to suspend that as well.
Yeah, so I can take a stab at one, and then I'll defer to the professionals on the other. I think it's a good idea, if possible. I mean, the hard reality of why we need to do this second collection is just we run into a cash flow problem at the end of the year, right? So we still have to pay to the Joint Sewer Authority and one of the other ones, right, Ken?
Yes.
So we just straight up run out of money, right? Unless the money got here earlier, which is why we were waiting till, I know it stinks for everybody to get this last minute, but I'd rather everybody be upset with me trying my hardest till the last minute to get the money than whatever. But anyway, if we got the money in, then we'd have the cash flow. Unfortunately, we don't have the cash flow.
So I can kind of talk to that. I also, if I could let Ken, so the answer to your question, Councilman, is yes. Is it possible to do that? I believe it is. The issue becomes, and again, policy decision, your guys' decision, right, is it doesn't really incentivize people to ever pay. So if it is possible, and I'll defer to Ken and the attorney, I've never seen us do it, it may be wise to potentially contemplate kind of like an absolute deadline before interest does start.
Yeah,
because
if you leave it open-ended, people may just never pay.
I'm open to at least an extension on that.
So yeah, so maybe if we did 3 months interest free.
Okay.
Something like that.
I would be, because it's almost looking like
no, it's a good idea.
We're punishing the
no disagreement.
I don't want to punish them.
No, I think it's a great idea. I really do.
So I do agree with Andrew. It probably would make more sense to.
So I would just do it in a separate resolution, right? I would pass this tonight, let people know you still have time, you have 31 days your next meeting, you can have a discussion. There's different ways to do it. One of the ways would be its interest is deferred or not accrued if you pay it within 90 days, but if you paid on the 91st day, you have to go back and as if interest was in, right? So there's a little bit of incentive to get it in on that day. Otherwise, we add interest back. Oh, sorry. Otherwise, we add interest back. That's the process. So there's a couple different ways to do it.
So we can talk offline, let's do a different resolution.
Yeah,
Different options, but I would still, I think you have to pass this one tonight.
Yes,
For
yes,
Ken's purposes.
And I think, Ken, did you have something you want to chime in on?
Well, you definitely need to pass this one as is tonight,
Yeah.
just otherwise you're not going to be able to extend the grace
We'll be
period.
insolvent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can have further discussions before the next meeting about the other possible way. I have to also see if the system can handle that type of adjustment, unfortunately, that's unique. I have not heard of that before, but I'm not saying it's not out there,
But this
so.
is a unique situation.
I understand. Trust me. I've been sitting through all of it, trying our best to make everything happen.
We're making
So,
Ken sweat real bad till the end.
But the only thing I would request is if it's not possible, that it's no fault of anybody's here, we're trying, but the law is if it's not paid the following year, it goes to tax sale.
Yeah, so that is, I
That's
was
unavoidable.
going to say, that's the so that's the incentive to pay.
Right.
Ultimately, if we are able to waive it indefinitely, which I don't know, the statute covers it, right? Where you may be interest-free,
you're
but
interest-free until
ultimately,
you have a lien on your house.
you're going to have to pay
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there'll be a lien on your house, and there'll be a lien holder that you're going to have to pay interest to, which is probably more painful than the interest you're
Yes.
getting on your sewer.
So that would be the only thing I would say might run into an issue, but.
Cool. All right. Any further discussion? I think it's a good idea.
So that's something, Councilman,
We'll do a
we'll
separate.
continue to dialogue on for the October 17th meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Any further discussion? I'm seeing none. Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky?
Yes.
Councilman Johnson?
Yes.
Councilman Signorello?
Yes.
Councilman Rabina?
Yes.
Councilman Patel?
Yes.
5 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The resolution is adopted.
Lovely. Okay, let's start off with the council president.
Thank you, Mayor. Okay, first of all, I want to send my condolences out to the Stephen Reedish.
Can one of you not leave the room so we have a quorum?
Miss a quorum,
Sorry, Councilman.
Okay,
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. You could actually go.
Yeah, we got.
My bad.
Okay, Stephen Redesh, he was a 1972 graduate of Roselle Park High School. Julia Donnelly Basante, which also was a 1972 graduate of Roselle Park High School. And Mrs. Stevens, she was my, when I went to high school, she was a librarian. And actually, she lived to 97 and everything. So, like I said, condolences go out to the three of them. On September 21st, I attended the Oktoberfest at the American Legion. Councilman, great event. Again, anything we could do for the veterans, I appreciate. I know, like I said, Councilman, you were a veteran and you served our country. So I always send my prayers and everything for all you and everything. So again, it was a great event and very profitable. On the 28th, I attended the Arts Festival, okay? Unfortunately, it rained all day, and I felt bad for the vendors and the people that had food stands, but unfortunately, it was said rain or shine, so we had it. Monday, I attended the fire department meeting. Like I said, I usually get the report of anything to do with maintenance. I'm supposed to get a email about all the, there's in Station 1 and Station 2, but as of today, I didn't get one yet, but I know I will get one. Sunday, October 20th, will be the Halloween costume party. It'll be at 234 Chestnut Street, which is the youth center. Costumes from infants to 8th grade. Flyers will be distributed throughout the school probably next week. Again, I'm going to ask again to keep your in prayers to Paul DeVito. And if you don't know who Paul DeVito is, he worked for our DPW, and he had cancer on his brain, and he's going through chemo, and so my prayers go out to him. But hopefully everyone else keeps them in prayer. And again, if you can help the American Legion out, please help them out. I know they're looking for money and everything, and so I always remember one of the veterans I was friends with always said to me, they were there for you when you needed us. It's time for you to be with them now when they need us. And I want to thank Councilman Johnson for your time of service, okay? Again, if you need to contact me, Jay Petrosky at rosellepark.net, 908-666-7821. And Chief, also your service is very, thank you. I appreciate your service also. And I'm sure there might be people in the audience that also were veterans, but I know you two were veterans and everything. So, again, thank you for your service. And that's my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Rabina?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Roselle Park. Last week, I, along with Councilman Johnson, Superintendent Goyce, Principals Quiroga and Dougherty, attended the 2024 Easy Ride Recognition event, where the borough proudly received the Gold Level Award for the New Jersey Safe Routes to Schools program, and 4 of our 5 schools received recognition. This honor is a testament to our collective unwavering commitment to enhancing the safety and well-being of our children as they commute to school. Through various infrastructure improvements such as upgraded crosswalks, new sidewalks, traffic calming measures, and the installation of speed radar sensors, we are taking significant steps to create a safer environment for our young residents. Additionally, our community engagement initiatives are fostering a healthier, more active lifestyle for everyone. This recognition is not just an award. It reflects the hard work and dedication of our community in prioritizing the safety of our children. We are building a brighter, safer future for all. I'm thrilled to announce that Sunrise Document Solutions has been nominated as Roselle Park's October Small Business of the Month. For over 40 years, Sunrise has been a cornerstone of our community, providing exceptional document management solutions and services that have helped countless local businesses thrive. Sunrise started as a small operation focused on delivering high-quality printing and copying services. Over the years, they've evolved to meet the changing needs of our community, expanding their offerings to include digital solutions and comprehensive document management. Their commitment to customer service and quality has not only built lasting relationships, but also contributed significantly to our local economy. As we celebrate their achievements this month, let's recognize the positive impact Sunrise has had on Roselle Park. Their dedication on our community reflects a spirit of collaboration and support that we value so deeply. Congratulations to Sunrise Document Solutions on this well-deserved recognition. As we celebrate National Disability Month, I want to take a moment to reflect on the incredible commitment that our town has made to inclusivity and support for all individuals. With that, I'm excited to remind you about the upcoming Roselle Park CPAG meeting on October 17th via Zoom, where Inroads to Opportunities in Roselle will lead a discussion on vital topics such as transitioning from school to work, vocational programs, job placement and coaching, along with rehabilitation, mental health support, and other topics. This is a fantastic opportunity for families and students to learn about these resources, about the resources that are available to them. Please visit roselleparkcpag@gmail.com or call 908-299-6446. In Roselle Park, we proudly embrace our diverse community, which includes approximately 400 students, just over 20% of our student population, who have physical, mental, learning, or other disabilities. We are particularly fortunate to have spaces like the sensory-friendly park, designed to be welcoming for all. While some may view it as a misallocation of resources, it was developed using county funds specifically to uplift our community. This park stands as a testament to our shared commitment to inclusion and support. Additionally, I want to highlight our efforts to ensure that property owners and associations of multifamily units are compliant with ADA requirements. We tabled tonight's resolution, and we're hoping to come to a amicable understanding, resolution on it. I'd like to say thank you to the Greater Union Chamber of Commerce. Over 450 runners and a record 96 sponsors took part in the 13th Annual Mayor's Day 5K Run. Some of the proceeds from that event will be donated to a Roselle Park family whose 7-month-old daughter, baby Layton, has yet to come home to Roselle Park. On behalf of the borough, I thank each and every business that sponsored this event. I will continue to encourage, support, and access for all children and individuals in our town. My final comment, may we recognize the good in one another and strive to be a community of neighbors, helping one another, and not tearing each other down. I can be reached at jrabine@rosellepark.net, 862-236-0019. Thank you, Mayor. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Johnson?
Thank you, Mayor. My report will be short. Mayor, residents, community, I had the opportunity to attend the Easy Ride with my colleague, the Oktoberfest at the American Legions. I want to give SAL and Women's Auxiliary especially kudos and a shout out to them for putting such together and helping the veterans to put together such a wonderful event that raised some decent money. The veterans do need help, and I couldn't say it better than my colleague right here. You know, a lot of them served us. It's time to give back too. They love that place, and we need a little bit more financial help from the community. So we're going to continue to do community events. We're going to continue to do explore other options, grants and other things to try to mitigate our situation. So please help out the veterans any chance that you can. I also had the opportunity to attend the art festival. I just missed the photo opportunity. So I did support. I managed to purchase two nice. Every year I make it my business to get one of those T-shirts. So I got two this year. So I don't need any recognition from the town about me attending. The Greg Johnson Civic Association is also along with my brother, we did the cleanup on Westfield Ave, and we have plans to do the CPR event at free for teenagers like we've done in the past, preferably that age group. As soon as we get more information, I'll share it on Facebook and I'll share it on my posts. Other than that, if you need to get in contact with me, please call me at 908-303-1519, or you can email me at gjohnson@rosellepark.net. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Patel?
Sure. Good evening. Only got two updates. The Environmental Commission will be hosting a repair cafe this Saturday at the Roselle Park High School cafeteria starting at 10 p.m. The annual Festival of India is on Saturday 5th, same location, Roselle Park High School, starting at 5 p.m. And that's all I have. So if you have any questions, please reach me at kpatel@rosellepark.net. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Councilman at Large?
Good evening. Just a couple of public safety things. Fire Prevention Week's coming up in October. And just a reminder of everybody, please hope you have a smoke detector in your house, carbon monoxide detector, fire extinguisher would be good when we turn over homes and apartments required to put in a fire extinguisher now. If you don't have them, the state can get us to smoke detectors. Street lights, right? If you got a street light out in your neighborhood, email or call the borough and somebody will take your number for the street light. I'd just like to congratulate my wife, retired from the school district after, 15, 17 years, and she'll be missed, and she's going to stay home and take care of a couple things and our new granddaughter. And that's the end of my report. So if you need me, get a hold of me. It's jsignorelli@rosellepark.net, 908-721-6488. Have a good night.
Thank you, Councilman. Bit my tongue. Very excited for the events coming up this fall. I'll keep mine short. Unfortunately, I'm going to miss the festival this weekend. I have to travel for work for the next week, so you're looking at Mayor Petrosky for the next week. Send all complaints to him. Don't burn the place down, all right, Joe?
I won't.
Thank you. On a serious note, I'd really like to once again stress how disappointed I am with the way this sewer system thing is shaken out. We were elated this year to get the relief, and look, I'm happy to call out the state when the state can't do something right. Like, it's amazing to me that you can fit something that massive in the budget, and it's in there as a line item as a fiscal year 2024 item, and still not be able to guarantee that it will come this year. It is something that needs to be rectified going forward. Like, we cannot operate in this way. I think it's a good thing that we'll have relief going forward, but it's very, very frustrating. Not the least of which now the communications, right? Do you pay? Do you not pay? Now you got to pay. Like, it stinks. The whole thing stinks. And I understand that there's frustration. I would be frustrated too. And the only reason we didn't make a decision sooner was because we really tried to the 11th hour to get some confirmation that money was going to come in and save everybody the second payment. But, I'd rather you guys be mad at me for waiting and trying my best than, calling it early and giving up on it. So, sucks. And I wish I did better. Anyway, any further discussions? mayorsig@rosellepark.net. Happy to help out with whatever you got. May I have a motion to open the public portion on any subject matter?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
If you'd like to come speak, you may do so now. Come on up. Yep.
Hi, Anthony Peters, 7D Colfax Manor. When we took our break, a couple of the unit owners had voiced some things that I didn't point out my last speaking. I just want everybody to know this whole thing with this handicap parking space. Eddie had his own private parking space at Colfax Manor. He had it for years, but because of some issues, he lost that privilege. He was the one and only unit owner that was granted a private Zoom meeting with the board to try to resolve this. First and ever. I know he had said that we're kind of picking on him, but we have never had presented a Zoom meeting for a unit owner solely. That's always been a joint thing. Unit owners, you come in, we have a meeting once every few months. So I just want everybody to realize that he did have his private parking spot for years.
Yep.
And lost it. So that's all I just wanted to say. Thank you for your time. The private meeting, we did not have an attorney. No.
Yeah, the only question I have, I'm not going to belabor it. I just want to know, sometime, do you ever have an attorney to help
on
guide
some
you guys?
of our meetings,
Some of those meetings?
David Burns is our attorney. Yeah, he's been at least 3 unit owners meetings that I can remember. This particular private meeting, it was just the board, our property manager, and Eddie was at this meeting when it was about revoking his parking space and why we were. So there was transparency throughout. So.
Unfortunately, I can't. Yeah, it's got to be one at a time. Apologies. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Other questions?
Oh, no, I'm good.
That's it. Thank you. Go ahead.
Do you need my name and address again?
Yep.
Edward
Yes.
Selecki, 26C Colfax Manor. All right, the dispute was over some work that I had done that they never got back to me about. I called management, which was Mem Properties. I called them and they said a guy that worked there, Sal, said he would always call me back. Now, Tony and Phil are the plumbers, okay? They did the plumbing in my house, okay? They're also on the board, which is a conflict of interest, in my opinion, because they do the work and they submit the bill to themselves, so they can make it for whatever they want.
I just want to say for the record, I don't mean to interrupt, and I'll give you all your time that you need back. Look, this body, government body, is here to make a decision on the merits of the ordinance and whether there's, we're not here to adjudicate
Great.
the
What does that have to
immaculate,
do with taking my parking spots away that he said? It had nothing to do with taking my parking spots away. You let him say it, but I can't.
No, you can. I'm just saying, I want to say for the record, like, we're not playing
so
referee here, right?
Just because we had a dispute, okay? And the Zoom meetings, and I have pictures of it, and I have witnesses that said that they locked me out of Zoom meetings, okay? While Zoom meetings were going on and I was voicing my opinion, they shut me out and said, waiting in this room. I have pictures of it. I have a neighbor. I went to his house during a Zoom meeting, okay? I showed him I was locked out of it, okay? And he was watching it. I heard the whole thing from behind his computer. So as far as that, they locked me out of things. As far as just losing my 2 parking spots, which I think, in my opinion, was illegal anyway, okay? I talked to Daniel, who was accountant, and I started paying him an extra $25 a month. Well, this has nothing to do with it, so that's something else. So,
Mr. Solaki, I do have a question for you. Do you have access to the lot behind your complex, your unit, the ADA spots that are there? There are, I believe, 4, because I've been back there to see it. Do you have access to those spots?
which spots are they? The only spot?
There are 4
I have no
spots.
reserved parking spot, no garage.
I'm not saying the reserve. There are 4 ADA spots,
Lot A
labeled
or
spots.
B?
Where are they? I'm only in B, which is the parking lot next to my house. There's another handicap
Okay, in Lot
parking
B, are there any ADA spots in Lot B?
ADA is
Handicap spots?
one handicap spot in the parking lot where I am, on the side. The other side has 2 handicap parking spots, but it's not handicap accessible because there's steps. There's 2 steps, 3 steps.
Your unit, is it on the first floor or is it on the second floor?
Second floor.
Okay, is there an elevator in your building or?
No.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that there's 1 handicap parking spot.
Mhm.
That's it. On the other side, there's 2, but there's no access. There's no handicap access. There's steps. There's 2 steps, then 3 steps, then 2 steps going up. And there should be handicap access in one of them because it's a handicap parking. So you should have access with a ramp or something, but there's nothing there. Okay? As far as like what he said about, dispute, that has nothing to, I agree, that has nothing to do with it. This is about parking on the street. In Colfax Manor, I applied for it. It says in here I filled out all the paperwork, the rules, and everything perfectly. I got doctor's notes and everything. And they have no right telling me I can't park on the street when the town gave me the street. They don't own the street. They think they own everything, you know? And I think it's, in my opinion, you know, I just think it's revenge. And then, you know, a lot of people say they should have never taken your 2 parking spots away, but I'm not here about my parking spots. I'm here about the handicap parking. So therefore, I think I should get the handicap parking. If they want to give me, if they're complaining that, people are complaining there's no room on the street. I mean, in the last Zoom meeting, Tony said, we're going to call the town, or we're going to see if we can get rid of the permit parking so more people can park there.
Unfortunately, you're out of time, but we heard it. We're going to take this under consideration. It's tabled right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bill, I think I saw you coming up.
Good evening, Bill Cross at 412 Galloping Hill Road. Quick question I forgot to ask at the last meeting. Is there going to be a meet the candidates for those people running for election this year?
Yeah, I mean, nobody's organized it. Usually it's like some random third party that does it. I think there's one on the Board of Ed side,
Yeah, there
but
is.
I haven't been approached from, from a municipal side. So first off, in the past, it hasn't been the Borough of Roselle Park doing it, right? It's,
Okay.
we've allowed neutral parties to use this forum for that, but the Borough of Roselle Park does not do that. Now, with my other hat on as the chairman of the Democratic Party, if the chairperson of the Republican Party wants to say, hey, we should set something up, like, I'm open to it, but that's not really it's not a borough decision.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
In reference to the gentleman who was up here before about the noisy neighbors, Woodland is behind me on Galloping Hill Road. I know the house he's talking about. Habitual offender would not even define it. If I said the DJs were still going on at midnight, it would not be an exaggeration.
Yep.
I have no clue how many people were over there, but you could hear the people above the music because they had to talk loud. So again, Councilman, my concern is how are they going to enforce it? You know, police have other things to do as well, but there's got to be enforcement behind the ordinance.
Councilman, you want to respond?
Yeah, we spoke about that already at the last meeting. So our plans are to train, obviously, several of the law enforcement officers. We're going to try to acquire one or two of the devices to effectuate that. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Once these guys are trained, it should be a no-brainer if the chief or anyone gets dispatched over there and they operate the equipment and it comes up that they're past the decibels.
Cool.
That's an easy citation. I think it takes the
I hope it
guesswork. I
works.
think it takes the guesswork out of the guessing.
And I also want to thank the councilman and the chief for putting up the speed sign on Galloping Hill Road. And yesterday I happened to go in and out 2 or 3 times, so I stopped at the end of the driveway just to watch. Not one vehicle that went by that sign was below 30 miles an hour. And there was at least 2, just in the short time I was watching, that were at 45. So I appreciate the effort, and again, it comes to enforcement. We can't ask the police department to sit there 24 hours a day watching the guys, but hey, we're trying.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Anybody else want to come up?
Hello, Mayor and Council, Phil Lepore, 46C, Colfax Manor. Getting back to the handicap spot, of course. Where I was sitting, I don't know if anybody noticed, well, you probably all did notice, the elderly woman sitting behind me. All the help she needed getting up out of the chair. The spot that we're questioning, that is 20, 25 feet away from her house where she lives. If anybody could use a spot, it's her.
Okay, we can't, sorry.
Please take all this under consideration when you're making your decisions. I know you have to talk legal, I understand, but take this all under consideration, please.
I have a question though. Where are the other how far are the other parking? Cause I went there. So how far are the other ones?
We have, in our parking lots, we have ADA spots
Yeah,
throughout.
but how far? Because you brought up distance. So I want
Let's
to know
say
how far.
200-300 feet?
Similar to where the one is on the street, correct? And actually the one with the steps is even further.
The one with the steps is further. The one on the street is closest to this woman's house that I just was referring to.
Yeah.
So, once again, we do have a lot of elderly people.
You have a lot of them on the property, right? And they're all
yes.
pretty much lots in A and B. They're all pretty much. It depends on where your unit is, correct?
Yes. Yes.
So technically, some of those spaces would be further from her as well.
Yes. Yes. And once again, nobody ever removed an ADA spot from Eddie. Eddie has full access to any ADA spot he wants on the property. His private parking, his non-ADA spots, that what was removed for non-payment of HOA fees. And that's the bottom line. So take that all in consideration when you make your decision, please.
Absolutely.
Understood.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, only one person, only one time per public portion. Okay, anybody else? I am seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public portion?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No further closed items for executive. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.